What's going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you another video for the week. Man, oh man, it's been super cold this whole past week and a half or so. Temperatures normally don't drop below freezing point at where I live, but it did, and it was super cold, and I actually got really lazy where I can barely even do any water changes, let alone go outside. Of course, I sucked it up, did the water changes, and I was supposed to do a few other things like move around a couple of the fishes. But I only got a chance to do a couple of the moves, and especially this tank here. I wanted to show you guys because eventually they're going to move outside into the rack system. A lot of these guys has grown really big, and it's about that time to actually move them out. I'm probably gonna start doing the selective breeding maybe in the summertime-ish, when a lot of these guys get a little bit bigger, the colors show up a little bit better. I also have a lot of fry in the other tank that needs to move into here to do a kind of grow out tank a little bit bigger for them, kind of get them acclimated and ready for CO2, because this tank here has CO2. The other tanks that the little fries are in does not have CO2, so those guys are kind of just growing as is. For this week, I'm not actually moving any of these guys, but for future plans or future project, you'll see me move these guys into the rack, and I'll probably try to do it when it's a little bit warmer. It's too cold right now, so I don't want to do anything, just super lazy. So for today, I really want to show you guys a couple of the fishes that I moved and the reason why behind it. So as you guys know, this is my Wabi Kusa tank. It's been set up for almost 2 years. It's been doing its own thing. This tank is really fully immersed, and I really don't do anything with the plants other than do my water changes, and the plants kind of take care of itself. All right, so this tank before was housing 2 zebra plecos. I was trying to do a mini breeding project in this, try to figure out if they were a pair. Now, the one thing I didn't have in this tank was a heater. Now, the temperature, for winter months was around 72, 73-ish. So really, this tank never got to breeding temperatures for the zebras to confirm. So what I really wanted to do was to see if they were a pair. So I needed to move the zebras into a tank that was a lot warmer, or add a heater into this tank. Now for me, I didn't really want to buy another heater just to, draw more power when I had another tank or another area where I can just throw the zebra plecos in to confirm. So the choice was pretty easy for me. I went ahead and moved the zebra plecos out of this tank and into another tank, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this left this tank completely empty, so I needed to figure out what I wanted to put in this tank. Now originally I had shrimps in this tank, which did fairly okay for the most part. Then this tank went to kind of like a quarantine tank for new fishes, like nano fishes here and there, until they were clean or checked out, and then I would put them into different tanks. But now I don't really have any other fish that needs to be quarantined, or any other fish that needs to be by themselves. So I figured, why not put in the crawfish that I got maybe a couple months ago for free into this tank, so he has his own tank. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this has to be, one of the coolest crawfish tank that, probably that's out there. A lot of the crawfish tank is pretty bare. If you have anything, inside the tank with the crawfish, it literally just tears everything up, plants, whatnot. But because all the plants are immersed, he can't touch it pretty much. Now, initially when I got the crawfish for free, I was like, what the heck am I gonna do with this thing? It literally will, eat most of my nano fish. I don't really have a house for it, so it really sat in the sump of my zebra pleco tank for a while, and over time it grew a lot. Actually, it grew and shed a lot, and I actually used the shell of the crawfish that when they would molt and give it to the zebra plecos to kind of munch on. They would just kind of munch on that once in a while. But what was really cool was the crawfish will come out, when it's feeding time. It knows me. It's pretty friendly. So I figured, let's give it a actual tank and, possibly see, this thing grow to a massive, big, crawfish. Now, when I first got the crawfish, it was super blue. Now, I don't know if it's because of its environment, but, it's gotten duller. Some of its little claws are still blue here and there. So I don't know if, the environment has a play or a say in its colors, but it's still a really nice crawfish. Now this tank is still a nano tank. The crawfish is in here alone. It has stands to play with. It has a driftwood if it wants to kind of I don't know, hide under it, do whatever it wants. Most crawfish likes to hide in between caves and whatnot, but this guy, he's been you know, so open and just kind of like familiar with me. Like he's out in the open. Like he's not hiding. He's just chilling and just kind of waiting for food, really. Now, because this tank's so simple, and I don't know how, you know, messy or dirty these crawfish can get, but, you know, the more it poops, the better it is for the plants anyways. So I hope, you know, the crawfish does well in this tank. The temperatures for it will be awesome because it doesn't really need a heater. I think it likes cooler temperatures anyways. So you guys are probably wondering what happened to the actual zebra pleco pair that I was experimenting in the Wabi Kusa tank. Well, I actually placed them into the same tank as the Discus. Now you guys actually might not see them in the tank because they're actually in the sump. So let's actually go down to the sump. So when I was trying to figure out, you know, where to place these guys at, I figured, you know, the Discus tank is like probably the best because the temperature is always at 84 degrees. And, you know, since the sump is open anyways, like might as well put them in here. Now these guys don't actually require a lot of space. The actual sump is actually pretty big for them because I really want them to see each other and also kind of get familiar with each other if they are a pair. Now the setup is really basic. It's just literally a breeding cave plus a driftwood on there because they like to munch on driftwood anyways. The male has been occupying this cave for a while, since even when he was in the other tank. I believe the female that's outside is just kind of chilling there. I don't know if they're, you know, big enough yet, but, you know, this is a perfect setup for them if they are a pair. And what I really want to do is, once I kind of get a confirmation of like males and females, I kind of want to maybe set up like multiple caves, maybe in here in a small container, and kind of get them to like do the initial spawn. And the thing with the 33 gallon long is it's actually a pretty big tank for them. Even if a pair or even if a fish is ready to breed, they might not even interact with each other or see each other. So in a smaller container or a smaller area, there's a better chance or a possibility of them interacting with each other. So that's the hopes, the plans of these guys. I may end up moving a few more confirmed like males or something from the other tank into here to see. I don't have any confirmation on females because I have no idea which ones are the females or if they're big enough to tell. I do know I have at least one male and the other one that's a little bit bigger than this guy to see, you know, if we need a male or if we need a female. But really, I just want to see who's who and what's what before I actually do anything else. Alright, so I want to give you guys a quick update on the Discus. On the last video, you guys saw, you know, me shoot kind of a video of them laying eggs and kind of like fanning it. They've been doing it, like I said, like every week, but again, still no luck. They've been eating it. I've been trying to figure out who's eating them so that I can kind of separate that one Discus to see if we can actually get to, you know, some sort of stage where they're not killing their own fry. Now I think the male is eating the fries. I can't really confirm because I haven't seen him do it, but the male is going to be this guy over here. He's like always the mean one that's trying to bite me anyways when he's coming out. I can't confirm yet. I have to see, you know, the male in action actually, you know, eating them. But I've been seeing him mostly fanning a lot of the eggs and actually keeping the eggs. So it might be the female that's doing it, which is the other one right there. So I need to see who's doing the killing, who's doing the massacre in pretty much every lay. But if I can find out who's doing it, I'm gonna try to separate the other one and see if one parent can actually raise them. It's gonna be really brutal and really harsh on that parent because the wigglers, man, they will peck at the slime coat until like there's a hole in it, which is what happened to my other pair when I was trying to do the similar thing here. So yeah, so that's the update on the Discus pair. You know, they're doing well in this tank, but man, massacre every time when they lay eggs. So we'll see and we'll hope that we get some good luck in this tank. But yeah, so that's the update for the week. A couple moves in the fish, more moves, especially in the swordtails in the future here when it gets a little bit warmer. As always, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe. If you guys want to get notified of any new updates in the video, make sure you guys hit that notification button. And like always, until next time guys, peace.